Hi guys, welcome back to Flick Finesse. Today we're checking out 12 thriller movies you might have missed, streaming on Prime, Hulu, and several other platforms. These are the kind that grab you from the first scene, twist your brain, and keep you guessing till the end. From mind-bending psychological thrillers to intense crime dramas, and a few surprises along the way. So grab your snacks, settle in, and let's dive into these hidden thriller gems. Number 12. Werewolves Within. In the middle of a snow-covered town, a new forest ranger named Finn arrives to take up his post. He expects a quiet job, but the situation quickly turns strange when the locals begin to clash over a planned pipeline project. Tensions rise even more after a sudden blackout and the discovery that something dangerous might be lurking in the woods. The small group is forced to stay together in one place while suspicion spreads that one of them may not be who they seem. This film is not a typical horror picture. It mixes mystery with satirical comedy, where paranoia and mistrust become just as frightening as any monster. The director builds the story like a classic whodunit, while adding a playful supernatural twist. The humor and tension go hand in hand, making the tone light but still suspenseful. Sam Richardson plays Finn with a calm warmth that balances out the chaos around him. Milana Vaintrub brings energy and sharp wit as Cecily, the local mail carrier. The rest of the townsfolk are eccentric and unpredictable, each one adding to the tension as you keep guessing. The chemistry of the ensemble is one of the film's strongest qualities. Werewolves Within is a cozy yet tense watch, a playful thriller that entertains without relying on heavy gore. A fun mix of satire, paranoia, and small-town secrets that keeps you engaged till the end. Number 11. Kristy. Justine is a college student who decides to stay on campus during the Thanksgiving holidays. While most of her classmates go home, she remains behind in the near-empty dorms. At first, the silence and isolation seem harmless, but soon she notices that someone is watching her. A group of masked strangers appear on campus, and the night turns into a deadly game of survival. The movie uses a simple setup, but creates tension through atmosphere and pacing. Instead of focusing on gore, it relies on suspense and the chilling idea of being hunted in a place that should feel safe. The large, empty campus at night becomes another character in the story, amplifying the sense of fear and loneliness. Step by step, Justine is forced to fight back against her pursuers, turning into an unlikely heroine. Haley Bennett gives a convincing performance, balancing fear and resilience. She manages to make her character feel both vulnerable and determined as the story progresses. The masked attackers are menacing without much backstory, which adds to their disturbing presence. The film works best because of its focus on Justine and her transformation. Number 10. 999. In Atlanta, a crew made up of dirty cops and criminals comes up with a risky plan. They want to pull off a big heist for the Russian mob, but to do it, they need the whole police force distracted. The idea is to stage a 999 call, which means officer down. So every cop in the city rushes to the scene while the crew makes their move on the other side of town. But soon, the plan starts to fall apart as trust between them breaks down. The movie mixes elements of crime drama and heist thriller with a dark, gritty style. The streets of Atlanta feel heavy and dangerous, and the story builds on paranoia, betrayal, and survival. It is not a fast action film, but when the action comes, it is sharp and intense. The tension comes more from the characters and the choices they make than just the shootouts. The cast is very strong. Chiwetel Ejiofor gives the leader real weight. Casey Affleck plays the straight cop who finds himself pulled into the storm. Woody Harrelson adds energy as a detective, and Anthony Mackie, Norman Reedus, and Aaron Paul round out the crew. The performances help carry the story even when it gets messy. Number 9. Paradise Hills. Uma is a young woman who refuses an arranged marriage and is sent to a mysterious island called Paradise Hills, an elegant reform school where wealthy families send their daughters to be shaped into the perfect version of themselves. At first, everything looks beautiful and safe, with gardens, white walls, and strict routines. But soon, Uma realizes that behind the glamorous surface, there is something sinister and dangerous. The film mixes sci-fi, fantasy, and thriller with a dreamy, fairy tale atmosphere. Emma Roberts delivers a convincing performance in the lead, while Mila Jovovich stands out as the mysterious Duchess. Critics were divided. Some praised the visuals and themes, while others found the story uneven. But overall, Paradise Hills is a stylish and haunting thriller that stays memorable for its unique look and unsettling mood. Number 8. See For Me. Sophie is a blind young woman who is left alone in her family's remote house while her parents are away. She decides to try a new high-tech home security app called See For Me that lets her navigate with guidance from a volunteer online. At first, everything seems safe, but soon a group of intruders break in, and she must rely on her wits, courage, and the app to survive. The film is a tense survival thriller that mixes close-quarters suspense with clever use of perspective. Skylar Davenport delivers a convincing performance, showing both fear and resourcefulness. The story is simple, but the tension is constant, and some moments are truly gripping. There are twists and unexpected turns that build toward the finale, and the movie keeps a tense and engaging atmosphere throughout, making it worth watching at least once. Number 6. Goldstone. It is a gritty crime thriller directed by Ivan Sen. The film is set in a small outback town called Goldstone, where corruption and crime rule the streets. The story follows Detective Jay Swan, who returns to the town to investigate the disappearance of a young girl, but quickly discovers that powerful mining companies, politicians, and criminal gangs control everything in the town. The film explores themes of justice, morality, and survival in a harsh environment where the line between right and wrong is blurred. The tension builds as Jay navigates the dangerous terrain both physically and socially while trying to uncover the truth. The performances are strong, with Aaron Pedersen delivering a quiet yet intense portrayal of Jay Swan, and Jackie Weaver adding depth as a morally ambiguous figure. The story combines suspense, mystery, and social commentary, with a tense and atmospheric backdrop of the Australian outback. And despite some slow moments, Goldstone keeps viewers engaged with its dramatic confrontations and gripping finale. Number 5. Shirley. Shirley follows the life of the reclusive author Shirley Jackson during a turbulent period in her life. She lives with her husband Stanley, a college professor, and their household becomes even more complicated when a young couple moves in under unusual circumstances. The film slowly unravels the tension and eccentricities of Shirley's world, exploring her creativity, personal struggles, and the peculiar dynamics that surround her. It's more character-driven than plot-driven, leaning heavily on psychological tension and gothic undertones. Elizabeth Moss delivers a mesmerizing performance as Shirley, perfectly capturing her sharp wit, odd mannerisms, and underlying vulnerability. The supporting cast adds texture to the story, but it's Moss who truly dominates every scene with subtle intensity. Shirley is atmospheric, darkly intriguing, and sometimes unsettling. It's not a conventional biopic, but rather a deep dive into the mind of a brilliant and complicated woman. If you enjoy films that explore character, psychology, and tension, this one will keep you hooked. Number 4. Joyride. Three friends, Louis Fuller, his brother Fuller, and Venna, drive across the country to deliver a car and have fun on the road. At first, everything seems like an ordinary trip, but soon a prank they play on a mysterious truck driver using a CB radio turns their journey into a nightmare. The driver begins to hunt them relentlessly, and every mile becomes more dangerous. Louis and his friends try to outsmart the unknown driver while navigating empty highways, isolated towns, and tense situations. The film is a classic thriller, simple in concept but highly effective. It relies on suspense, mounting dread, and realistic tension rather than gore or excessive action. The pacing is rapid when danger strikes, and the chases feel intense and believable. This combination of atmosphere, anxiety, and thrilling sequences keeps the viewer glued to the screen until the very end. Number 3. The Beach. The Beach is a thriller adventure about a young traveler, Richard, who arrives in Thailand seeking excitement and freedom. He meets a local who tells him about a hidden island paradise, and soon joins a group of backpackers to find it. At first, everything seems magical and peaceful, but gradually the paradise shows its dark side, as tensions, secrets, and dangers begin to emerge among the community. The story is a mix of adventure, suspense, and psychological tension, focusing on the interactions between the main characters, their mistrust, and moral choices, rather than non-stop action or explosions. The journey easily drags the viewer into a world of beauty and anxiety that does not let go until the final credits. The film is visually stunning and captures the contrast between paradise and human flaws, making it an unforgettable psychological thriller with a unique atmosphere. Number 2. Match Point. Chris, a former tennis player, moves to London to start a new life. He becomes involved with wealthy friends and high society. At first, everything seems perfect, full of opportunities and luxury, but soon his personal choices and hidden desires start creating tension and problems in his life. The film combines psychological thriller and drama. There are a few dramatic confrontations, but for the most part, it moves at a calm pace, showing the moral dilemmas of the protagonist and the consequences of his decisions, gradually revealing the main story. The direction focuses on the atmosphere, small gestures, and conversations that slowly expose greed, ambition, and jealousy. Chris struggles to balance desire and morality while his relationships with friends and lovers become increasingly complicated. The movie is tense because of the quiet unease and subtle conflicts, rather than loud action or chase scenes. Nevertheless, the movie is interesting, and the thriller element is fully justified. It keeps the viewer engaged and was praised by critics for clever storytelling, strong performances, and its ability to create suspense through character decisions and social pressure. The combination of drama, tension, and moral complexity makes Match Point a film that is both gripping and thought-provoking. Number 1. No Way Out. In Washington, D.C., Navy officer Tom Farmer gets involved in a dangerous situation when a murder happens at the home of a powerful politician. At first, everything seems professional and under control, but soon suspicion, secrets, and tension start building around him. The film is a political thriller combined with crime drama. There are a few intense confrontations, but for the most part, it moves at a calm pace, showing the pressure on the protagonist, his decisions, and the consequences of events, gradually revealing the main story. The focus is on moral dilemmas, character choices, and the rising tension, rather than non-stop action. The performances of Kevin Costner and Gene Hackman are convincing and add depth to the story. The suspense keeps viewers engaged, and the movie remains a gripping political thriller with clever plotting and a tense atmosphere. That's it for today's list of 12 thriller movies you might have missed. Drop a comment and tell us which one you'll watch first. And make sure to like and subscribe to Flick Finesse for more hidden gems.